How have you been faring over the last 3 months? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, plenty going on. We've had the passing of what some people believe to be the ruler of the free world. Many were saddened by this event for what they believed to be a very benevolent and gracious woman. But for others who are able to see through the veil, they will know that the royal family is simply a facade or a front for the real string pullers that sit behind them. Over the last 3 months, we've still had the drawn out, old, recycled war in Ukraine. We still have some interesting weather events going on throughout the globe. Now, these could be natural, it could be related to some of the solar storms and the coronal mass ejections, etc. But it also could be related to some funny business. So we'll see in time. Cost of living pressures have still been quite high, particularly around food and fuel. But the good news is that some of these commodities have come off, particularly wheat, cotton and oil itself have continued to come back down to levels that are a little bit more reasonable. As always though, lots of doom and gloom out there. We've got the financial markets. Oh, there's going to be a recession. There's going to be all kinds of things going on with the energy crisis in Europe. And it's strange, isn't it? Because some of these beautiful countries like France, for instance, used to be a net exporter of energy only just 6 to 8 months ago. So they had plenty of energy and they were exporting it. And now for some strange reason, France and other parts of Europe can't get enough energy. It's totally natural, it's totally normal, and these are just how the markets function apparently. On a serious note though, like the war, the energy crisis in Europe is completely manufactured, completely orchestrated and planned, and it will be managed to a certain extent, and I just hope that not too many civilians are adversely affected by it. For some, an increase in their energy bill of £20 or 50 euros or whatever it happens to be can have a significant impact on their overall quality of living. It can seem hopeless at times. I know, I've been there and I still go there sometimes. However, we need to keep in mind that every day more and more and more people are detaching from the matrix. They're piercing through that veil and they're looking around and going, okay, I see this for what it is. It is an attempt to keep me in a constant state of anxiety and fear about my place in the world, my interactions, this commodity, that financial market, my job, my social security, whatever it happens to be. As we go into the final quarter of 2022, which will no doubt be even more interesting, the same themes of lack, scarcity, fear, and the whole world's going to end, they're continuing, and they're probably going to continue, unfortunately, because it's just the way that we're wired. We respond more effectively to things that are scaring us, things that are fearful, etc. So that's going to probably dominate the headlines and continue to. And so the suggestion here today is to use that contrast. Have a look at my episode on mental health where I talk about contrast, because that's what's being provided and certainly has been ramped up in the last several years to provide the opposite of probably what most of us truly want. So the opposite is being presented to us at the moment, and it's our job to recognize that and go, okay, that's not what I want. I'm not going to tune into that particular vibe. I'm not going to pay attention and give energy to that particular way of being on this planet. Use the contrast, use all of the contrast. So the wars, the crisis, the doom and gloom about the economy, all of this sort of stuff. Use that for yourself to say, okay, well, I don't want an energy crisis, so I'm going to seek a solution. I don't want a food crisis, so I'm going to start doing certain things to ensure that doesn't happen. I don't want to have a financial Armageddon and all of these sort of things, so I'm going to take particular action in that respect. So use the contrast, invert it and redirect it back to you and fill yourself up instead of being drained and being all consumed like the puppet masters want you to be. All the best for the last quarter of 2022. Look after yourself, look after those near to you, and I'll see you in the next video.